This video is going to focus on the customization of leaderboards and adding them to your channel. Before we add them to the channel, we need to make sure that we have created the leaderboard and added the metrics for it. If you have not done that, please refer back to the videos on those topics. To add a leaderboard to the channel, we are going to navigate to the Channels area. We can do that by going to Channels and TV, or down to the Channels area in the left navigational pane. Once we're in the Channels area, we'll choose the channel that we're going to be adding and customizing our leaderboard for. And we'll go down to the channel contents or our playlist. So what we're going to do to add that leaderboard to the channel is we're going to grab a leaderboard step from the available steps and move it into the channel where we want to have this placed. Once we drop it, we'll have all of these customization options appear on the right-hand navigation. We'll choose the leaderboard that we would like to show. And then we have options of how we're going to display the leaderboard. We have 4 options that we'll be covering today. We have Classic, Bar Graph, Multiboard, and Profile. We'll start with Classic. In the Classic leaderboard, you can show up to 250 players. We'll stay with 10 just for today's purposes. And then you can choose any background you'd like. So our stock images are there. However, if you select, you can remove the images and choose from any of the tags that we have in here. Remember that your custom uploaded content will be under Custom. You can also add your custom content by clicking on this button in the left-hand bottom pane. We'll just go to Backgrounds and choose a few that we like. Once we've selected our backgrounds, we'll go back. You can always go back to the default selection by clicking this button. Your transition should always be there. You will see an error if it is not. And then we have advanced settings that will hide insights, which we'll learn about in a second, or turn off our challenge scores. So we'll go ahead and preview that step. So here is our leaderboard. You can see we have our main metric here. When it pulls out, you can see any other metrics you have for the top 3 people on the board. And then you have these extra squiggly lines, which are the insights we were talking about. After the top 3 plays, the insights will show anyone that has moved up the board recently. This comes in handy when you've got more than just 10 people vying for positions on the board, but you only want to show the top 10. You still want to acknowledge the people that have made strides and moved up on the board, and the insights allow you to do that. Next, we'll look at the bar graph version, so we'll change the display to bar graph. Bar graph allows you to show up to 50 people in groups of either 5 or 10. We'll go ahead, leave our background choices, leave the transition. This time we'll go ahead and hide those insights and we'll preview the step. Here you can see everyone lined up across the side. It'll show everyone's picture and it will go through all the players on the screen. It only shows the primary metric in the bar graph format, but it does show them as a nice bar. If there are less than 5 people on the board, it will spread out to take up the space. If we come back, we can check out the multi-board. Our multi-board is good for showing all of the metrics you have in more of a chart fashion. You can show up to 250 players. We'll show 20 for this one. And your duration. So your duration will split in the amount of time it has between the groups of 10. So if we have 20 players on the board and we have 10 seconds, it's going to show each 10 for 5. So we'll increase that to 15 just to give us a little bit more time to look at the standings. We'll keep the fade, we'll hide the insights, and we'll preview the step. Here you can see all 4 metrics that we've chosen are showing on the board. It is ranking by the first one and then using the second, third, and fourth to break the tie unless we've chosen to only rank by the primary metric. And lastly, we have our profile display. Profile will allow you to highlight either your top player, all players, or a custom number of players. We'll choose all players. You can change the title of the profile scoreboard, so we'll call this the top reps, and even the subtitle. Choose our leaderboards, choose our options, and let's preview that step. Here you can see our people are showing in a large photo with all of their metrics showing in the box on the side, on the right-hand side with their name. And here is our new titles that we've created for this specific board. Those are the 4 options for displaying leaderboards. They all have value for specific situations that might work for you. We'll continue on in the series with our next video.